Hello, everyone. Welcome to Real Talk with Cece. Let's get right to it. The intent of this channel is to speak to those who are experiencing marital separation. I have pondered in my mind for weeks on end as how to address this topic. I've noticed that marital separation is a huge epidemic in our time today, especially with COVID-19 and all of the ramifications that have come along with that. And I believe that it's time for those who have walked this journey to stand up. So I am in the thick of things, and I'm here to tell you my testimony. You want to hear it? Here it goes. I've been married for 5 years, and in that 5-year time frame, there have been a multitude of inconsistencies with my husband and his behavior. However, this channel is not to slander him. This channel is to address my part. I said this channel is to address my part. And I think that that's what's lacking in many of the testimonies that I've heard on YouTube, is that the person who is speaking to you is speaking in general about their situation, addressing their partner's behavior, but I want to speak about myself and what I contributed to the marital separation. I feel that that's the only way that we can grow. So here we go, out the horse's mouth. I grew up in a household, in a family structure of extreme control. Had no idea that the level of control would shape me to be such a person, as when it was time for me to be a wife, I desired to have a husband who led. I desired to have a husband where I could just sit back and chill. Like, I left the house at 18. I have been so ready for so many years prior to marriage to just sit back and chill. And anyone who knows me can testify to that. I'm a hustler at heart. I'm an entrepreneur, small business owner, done it all, had a 9 to 5. I'm ready to sit down. I was ready to sit down. However, oftentimes what we attract is what we then learn to regret as a relationship continues on and it grows. So I attracted a male who has a very laid back, kind of like jovial type of personality. So he was definitely not the leader type from the beginning. And I thought that that would be okay for me. I said, okay, well, I know that I can lead. I know I'm a driven person. I know that I've been extremely successful over my life with just me being able to convey what it is that I desire and then put in the sweat equity to make it happen. So I'm like, okay, well, cool. This will work. He can be chill. He has a great work ethic. That was like numero uno. I really believe, as a person who has a strong faith in the Lord and in Christian values as a whole, that after the fall of man, meaning Adam and Eve, that God commanded that the man should work by his hands for the rest of his life as a punishment for sin and the fall in the garden, and that the woman should bear labor in childbirth and raise her children. And that is the dynamic that we had. So I actually thought I could do this. I just really thought, okay, he's a hard worker. He's shown that I could do this. I could, be a woman who wants to be submissive but has the male energy to also lead. And I didn't have a balance. Point blank, period. I just didn't have a balance. No one ever taught me. No one ever taught me feminine energy versus male energy. No one ever taught me the balance between the two. I wasn't modeled marriage in a way that was healthy. So I brought myself into the marriage. But one thing that I know that I also did contribute was a willingness to meet this person halfway. Continually, I was an advocate for marriage family therapy, to come into unison with other married couples so we weren't doing this thing alone, to continue to grow in a family structure with our extended family, but to grow within our nucleus so that the hierarchy could be God, husband, wife, child. I do strongly believe in my heart that that's the way that things should be. God, husband, wife, child. We didn't have a balance. We didn't have agreements. We were never, ever equally yoked from the beginning. But I continued to persevere, walking in the Spirit, but exercising a lot of the behaviors out of my flesh, unbeknownst to me. Because when you've been you for so long, for X amount of years, it's foreign to you to think differently. And the whole ideal of marriage is for two to come together and become one. So I'm bringing my broken self in the marriage, and your partner is bringing their broken self into the marriage. And the goal of marriage is for the two persons to come together. If you're a person of faith like I am, God is your rock, the Word of God is your playbook, and communication is key. So when God is your rock, the Word of God, the Bible, is your playbook, and communication is key, how can you go wrong? So I thought. Lots of ways. There are lots of ways that you can go wrong. Number one, remember, when you were dating the person, the very things that you were attracted to, hello, I'm letting you know this, are 9 times out of 10 the very things that are going to get on your nerves in marriage. You know why? Because we attract what's opposite to us. And as human beings, what we don't know naturally, without some type of guidance, is how to balance out pleasure or fun and the pragmatics of everyday life. So if you're a workaholic and you met someone who made you feel that, you can just lay your head down and just relax because they were low key, that felt balanced in your dating relationship. But if the core of you is someone who has a very strong work ethic, and you prioritize timeliness, you prioritize whatever you prioritize, when the dust settles, okay, and that dating phase begins to wear off and the reality of life begins to set in, that relaxed personality type, for you, the workaholic, is going to start to rub you the wrong way. Because the honeymoon period is over. It's real time now. So you're going to wake up at some point and be like, wait a minute. Come on. Why you got to be late all the time? What's taking you so long to sweep the floor? Cleaning up doesn't mean stuffing drawers. Just picking stuff off the floor and stuffing drawers. Things have homes. Organize. But those things are not even thought about in the dating phase, because in the dating phase, literally, you're just having fun. You're in a period of euphoria with this person. But reality is what it is. So I can say that for me, my contribution to this separation is that I was constantly in marriage, not allowing this person to be them and me scale back and just be me. At the end of the day, holding a grudge, constantly in conflict with someone because of your opposite behaviors, thoughts, and ideologies is wearing to your mind, to your body, and to your soul. It's unhealthy. So for anyone who is still married and you're going through, I just would like to give you a word of advice. Today, scale back. You can't change nobody. You train children. Adults are who they are. And hopefully, throughout time, throughout modeling, throughout love, with respecting the person for who they are, they will see, I like how this person is doing this. Or I don't like how this person is doing this. But either way it goes, either way the pendulum shifts, it's not your responsibility to change someone. And changing doesn't even have to be by action, by way of you physically or intentionally changing that person. It could just be by you doing something as simple as giving them the silent treatment, just because they didn't do something that you wanted them to do. And so then you manipulate them with the silent treatment. I was taught that. I don't know, that was a model for me. that I am every day trying to overcome silent treatment. And guess what? He was modeled the same doggone dysfunctional way of manipulation. So you have two persons, okay, who are supposed to be coming together as one in union, in unison, in marriage, giving each other the silent treatment until one humbles himself to come together and have a conversation. But then we get to the next phase, the next step of error in my situation. He and I did not and do not even come close to having the same conversational style or even having the same level of communication. I communicate thoroughly. I have a lot of words, and I'm very intentional in delivering my meaning, whatever that may be. I'm very intentional in that. So one word answers with no depth, with very little content, it doesn't work for me. But guess what? When you're married, the point is the two becoming one. So it's not just about the way that you receive information. It's also about learning to understand the way the other person receives information, and you meet each other halfway. And remember, you have no responsibility for the other person and what they do. You can only worry about yourself. So in only worrying about yourself, knowing this now, if you've never been told this before, scale back. Scale back. The other person's not communicating with you? Okay. You still do you. Scale back. Don't hold it against them. You do you. So that means, in the case of marriage, for example, there's a birthday party, family gathering, and you've told this person several times, Saturday, there's a birthday party. I would like to leave at 1 o'clock. Let's all leave at 1 o'clock together so we don't have to rush. It starts at 2. That gives us enough time to just get there, and just relax and chill. If they're not ready, then you just make a choice. Do you leave or do you not leave? If you know that this person is always tardy and they're not on time, then you tell them, let's leave at 1. You know the party starts at 2. Don't tell them it starts at 2. You have to learn people's behavior. And like I always say, when a person is sick, how do you hold them accountable when they're sick? Hello, you're there to support them while they're ill. So if a person is chronically late, don't tell them what time the party starts in actuality. Don't do that. You have to learn how to work around someone else's maladaptive behavior until they learn. So all you do is say, I'd like to leave at 1 o'clock Saturday for the party. You know they're going to be scraggling behind, but get you a book, get you a writing tablet and some paper, a doodle, get your AirPods, whatever it is, sit by the front door, sit on the couch. Now you got 15 minutes to chill. Can you go wrong with that? You're already dressed, ready to go, and you have set the game plan to where you know they're going to be late, but you have chill time now. You know the party's only 20 minutes away, so even if they don't come out of the house until 1:20, you just gave yourself 20 minutes to chill and wait for them. Johnny come lately. Not be mad. Walk on out. They may be in all of a frizzy. Calmly walk on out. Go get in that vehicle and go on to the party. You understand? So that's just about all that I like to start with, is that I like to contribute the fact that I know that I came into the union of marriage with a spirit of control. The Jezebel spirit is not only a spirit of lust, it's also a spirit of control. And I have been represented by a family and a family system that upholds the Jezebel spirit. And God has had to separate me completely from everyone, okay? But my children, but our children, in order for me to see what the heck is going on and what has gone on. Stay tuned. A part 2 will be coming up very soon. Once again, I am Wordsmith 1982. Thank you so much.